1978. Somewhere in a Washington office, a staffer types a few dozen words into a tax bill. Section 401, subsection K. It was meant for executive bonuses, nothing more. Instead, this tax break for the ultra-wealthy insidiously became the wrecking ball that dismantled the traditional pension. And Gen X was the first generation expected to retire on a 401k with no safety net waiting behind it. Good times. So in this video, we are unpacking the real history of how Gen X ended up so far behind. The 401k accident, the pensions vanishing, the crashes that hit our best savings years. And then we'll cover the part I really want you to hear. You didn't do this to yourself. You're trying to survive a crisis manufactured by people who didn't care about your future. But you aren't out of the game yet. There is still time to catch up on your retirement, and I'll show you how. So let me tell you where the 401k actually came from. And look, most of us have no idea how we got stuck with this thing. I certainly didn't. But once you see the actual story of how it started, it changes everything. So in 1978, Congress passed the Revenue Act. Tucked inside was a small provision letting employees defer taxes on bonus and stock option money. That was all it was ever meant to do. It took effect on January 1st, 1980, and for 2 years, nothing. Nobody noticed it was there. Then, a benefits consultant in Pennsylvania named Ted Benna read it and had an idea. What if regular employees could use that same tax break to save out of their paychecks, with the company matching some of it? He pitched it to a client. The client said, no thanks. So Benna's own small firm, the Johnson Companies, tried it on their own employees. The IRS wrote payroll deduction rules in 1981, and through the 80s it spread everywhere, partly because companies figured out it was a lot cheaper than promising people pensions. And oh, just a fair warning, this next part might make your blood boil. Since then, an economist at the Center for Retirement Research called the 401k becoming our main retirement system a historical accident. Benna himself, the father of the 401k, has spent years saying it turned into something he never intended. A monster, in his words, not mine. That one stuffed me when I first read it. So that thing you've been beating yourself up about failing, the 401k was never really a plan. It was an experiment, and Gen X was the guinea pig. I don't know about you, but when I finally understood that, something in my shoulders let go a little. Sure, I was still angry, but at least relieved that truly it wasn't my fault. And if you're feeling that same weight right now, let it go. It's not your fault either. But it gets worse before it gets better. This is where all of this stops being just an accident. Right as the 401k experiment was starting, the old system was being taken apart. In 1979, 38% of private sector workers had a traditional pension, a guaranteed check for life. Today, it's around 13%. Now lay your own timeline over that. The oldest Gen Xers among us started working in the late 80s. So that collapse didn't happen before our careers, and it didn't happen after. It happened while we all entered the workforce. And the fixes came late. Automatic enrollment, the thing where younger workers today get signed up and saving before they've ever really thought about it, didn't become standard until after a law passed in 2006, which means for roughly the first 20 years of a Gen X career, the default setting on retirement was 0. You had to find a meeting, understand the form, and sign up yourself, while raising kids on a 90s paycheck. Some people did, a lot of people didn't, and I understand exactly why. Now, I know a skeptic might say, but the information was out there. It was. But people don't save for retirement because information exists. They save when the system makes it easy. That's the whole reason they changed the default for the next generation. They eventually fixed it, but by then, Gen X had already spent 20 years signing ourselves up or missing it entirely. Now let's talk about what Gen X has actually saved for retirement, because I bet the number you think everyone else has is wrong. Here's the real number. The median Gen X household has $40,000 saved for retirement. That's according to the National Institute on Retirement Security. Median. meaning half of us are below that. So whatever your number is, you're not the outlier you think you are. You're in the crowd. You just can't see the crowd because everybody in it is keeping the same secret. And it's not just the bottom half. Northwestern Mutual found nearly 70% of Gen X workers say they're behind. Even in the top quarter of Gen X savers, the median is $72,000. Plenty of people you assume have it handled are doing the same late-night math you are. They just don't talk about it. Now, you might have seen a different number. Fidelity says the average Gen X 401k is over $220,000. That's true, and here's why it's so far from $40,000. The average includes people who've saved millions, and those big balances pull the whole number up. The median doesn't. The median is just the person standing in the middle. 40,000 is the middle. 222,000 is what happens when you let the richest savers into the math. So if you looked at a number like that and felt something sink in your chest, I understand. I've done that too. But it was never a picture of you. It was never even a picture of most of us. So the plan was an accident and the pensions were gone. Now add the timing. Walk with me. Gen X entered the workforce in the 1990-1991 recession. We hit our first real savings years as the dot-com bubble burst. Then 2008. The housing market collapsed. The banks went with it. And the S&P 500 lost 57% of its value between October 2007 and March 2009. Home prices fell about 30%. Unemployment went from 5% to 10%. And Gen X was 28 to 43 years old when it all hit, which in retirement math is the main event, the years all the compounding is supposed to come from. Then COVID on top of it all. One number shows what 2008 alone did to us. Check this out. According to Federal Reserve data, the median net worth of Americans aged 35 to 44, which at that moment was us, fell from about $127,000 in 2007 to $58,000 in 2010. More than half. And the dollars were only part of it because every one of those dollars was supposed to spend the next 20 plus years growing. That growth just never happened. That's the part that doesn't show up on any statement. Now, every generation had crashes, that's true, but boomers mostly took 2008 late in their careers, with wealth already built and pensions under a big share of them. Gen X took it in the middle, with neither. Same crash, very different damage. Okay, so everything I showed you is true, but look, uncovering a corporate heist doesn't put a single dollar back in your savings. Knowing exactly how you got ripped off doesn't change the balance on your screen right now. You can't retire on righteous anger, and regret doesn't pay the rent. So Gen X, we need to stop wasting our time feeling stupid. Looking backward won't fund our futures, and we've got too much work to do, sit around feeling guilty. The blame belongs to a broken system and a pension collapse we had nothing to do with. Leave it there, and let's talk about what you can actually do from here. The same tax code that started this mess also has a set of rules written specifically for people our age who are running late. They're called catch-up contributions, and they let you save more than most people our age realize. In 2026, anyone can put $24,500 into a 401k. But starting the year you turn 50, the IRS lets you add another $8,000 on top. $32,500 a year into the taxed advantage bucket. At ages 60 through 63, it goes even further. The catch-up becomes over $11K a year, so almost $36K a year is allowed. There's a smaller version for IRAs too. $7,500 plus an extra $1,100 once you're 50. One flag while we're here, if you earn over $150K, newer rules say your catch-up money goes in as a Roth after tax, so that's the question for your plan administrator. Now, note as I keep using the word allows. The IRS allows $32,500. I'm not telling you to find $32K. The math still works with much smaller numbers. $1,000 a month from 52 to 67, growing at an assumed 7% average, and that's an assumption, not a promise, comes out around $300,000. Somebody who can max those catch-up limits for 15 years lands on the same assumptions north of 800. 15 years starting from behind. Now, $300,000 isn't a fortune, but put it next to a Social Security check, you time well, and it changes what those years look like. It's a floor under you. That's what a pension used to do, but you can build a smaller version of it yourself. So let's put it all together. The 401k was an accident, the pensions disappeared right as Gen X started working, and the crashes landed on our best savings years. That was the system at work or at failure. It was never your failure. And the way out is the catch-up rules we just walked through, the ones that open up the year you turn 50. I have one action for you this week, and it's small and boring on purpose. Log into your retirement account or your HR portal and find the contribution setting. If you're 50 or older, look for the catch-up option and just see what's available to you. Then, nudge your contribution up, even 1%. 1% doesn't feel like much, but once you set it, it comes out of every paycheck whether you think about it or not. That's the part that does the work. And if there's no 401k at work, opening up an IRA takes about 15 minutes. So now you know why the race was rigged, which means you can stop spending energy on the shame part. What comes next is the actual plan, step by step, for people starting where we are starting. I already made a video on it and it's right here. The catch-up plan nobody talks about. Go check it out. I'll see you there.